Welcome everybody to the second episode in our Ravenloft build. Excuse the commentary, we're kind of rushed. We're going to be doing this in one take, hopefully, so if there's any ums and ahs, we'll see what happens. Just now working on the second floor, getting the skeleton done for that. There's a similar kind of corridor, turrety, lookouty, archery section on this floor. And then the room we're kind of panning out now is the throne room, I believe, or at least has a throne in it. At this point that I realize there is a mistake in the current floor plan. And I'm just kind of trying to analyze and count out what the issue is. End up starting to build the grid across, and then in a second I end up copying a huge section of grid from the bottom to the top to work it out. But it's about at this point I think that I realize the stairs that lead up from that small landing area up into the throne room, they need to be about double their length. So they are just a shallower set of stairs. This is where I'm copying the grid over. There's a couple of little glitchy mistakes when I get the copying a little bit wrong. But the grid just makes it easier to plan everything out. There is a couple of sections on the second and the third floor here where, coming up right now actually, where the 3x3 grid and putting the walls along that kind of becomes a bit of an issue. Right up at the top there, that small room, we have a corridor that goes along the throne room that's running vertically right now and will be extended a little bit right in the middle of the screen there. That room to the left, I think houses like a ghost maid something. There's a whole bunch of beds in it. That's a little smaller than I wanted it to be. Right next to that is a staircase which goes up, which is a little bit skinnier than I wanted it to be. I end up making it about 2 blocks wide. And then right next to that is another corridor which leads to another similar kind of turrety lookout area. I think maybe it might be more beneficial to do a 4x4 grid and lay out the walls on one of those edges of the 4x4 grid, and then you won't lose any of the 3x3 interior space. Either that, or make it a 5x5 grid and double thick all the walls, and then you'll have 3x3 in most areas, unless you got an area which is only the 10 feet wide and is only one of those 3x3 grids. We move on now to the main central, not really central, but the largest of the spiral staircases. That goes up several floors and has landing on every floor. It's the big, large spiral staircase. The top of the actual staircase itself, there's also a hanging heart. We don't quite get to that in this episode, and I really don't know how I'm going to build it yet. We'll see what happens. Just working on some of the kind of side areas. That whole checkerboard area, that's just all like solid wall. I might end up putting something in there. And then the kind of upper roof area of the servant quarters. That's that box in the bottom right. The staircase itself just ends up spiraling upwards. Just kind of planning out the size and getting the right kind of angle that I want it to be. But eventually you'll see it come all the way up here. Adjusted slightly and trying to get a nice large landing. I think now in this clip we're starting to move up to the third floor. Right now just kind of planning out the area for the chapel. The chapel itself is a 2-story structure, so this is all going to be open space apart from a little balcony which connects to the rest of the keep through that corridor that runs up the middle of the screen there. And then eventually we'll take out the grid where the chapel should be. It's where the grid also just came in handy, and at this point it's served its purpose. I want to remove the parts of it I can that are on the outside of the keep, Also working on the larger staircase here. This staircase goes up one of the other towers and ends up also being a trap at the top. There's a large central column. You'll see the outside section being built there, and then a smaller inside column that will be hollow and will be a drop trap, which will drop even further than what we have now. It will drop to the crypt area, which we haven't even got to yet. And the other staircases here coming up into some towers eventually. That's the staircase I mentioned earlier there, which goes up next to that kind of ghost-made whatever bedroom. Kind of messing around with a little bit of planning and layout of it. It's not as wide as I wanted it to be. I really wanted it to be a 3 wide, but then I wouldn't have enough room to put beds in the other room. We end up kind of fiddling with it as well, trying to lay out the kind of right curve. It kind of curves around at the top, so I wanted to get the slope as good as I can for that there without being too steep. Working on the outer parapets, I guess would be the name, like the outer walkway around the 3rd floor of the castle. This I also am off by a little bit as well. We end up having to push the wall that's closest to us right now, end up pushing that back just a little bit, a couple of blocks to get the actual right size. And the walkway goes all the way around to the castle, and you can see to the left there, it also connects to the outer wall. There's another area near the crypt, the left side of the crypt as we're looking at it right now, or sorry, the chapel as we're looking at it right now. That will also connect to the castle on that side. I don't remember if the right side also connects to the castle. I don't think so. Or actually, no, it should do. Then we just need to adjust the turrets on the outside, the two on the right there that are on the front of the castle. They come up and also meet this level. They do end up going a little higher. I don't complete that part of the skeleton. There's kind of like an inside of the turret and then a upper level of the turret. This here is just working on that staircase, like I said, trying to find that right slope and the right curve, the right landing. Just trying to balance that out as best I wanted to. I did have it nice and perfect, and then I realized it was one section too short and had to be extended a couple of blocks. Those turrets coming up now, and the walkway around the outside of the castle being adjusted to the right forwardness of it, as far front as it should be. And there you see those connections being made from the walkways to the exterior walls of the keep. Working now on, I believe this is more kind of private rooms, kind of bedroom setup, and a corridor and secret passageway which goes to the bell tower, and I think like a little overlook into the chapel. Oh no, it's a bell chamber at the very top there, and then that circular chamber to the left. That is just a little treasure room. To the right there we have a drop trap which goes down. That is completely adjusted to how it's meant to be. It didn't quite fit, unfortunately, with the spiral staircases. And then the kind of not throne room, but bedroom and bathroom area that's being built up now. This is another one of those places in the castle where nothing quite lined up. That staircase, that spiral staircase, which is in the bottom right of that room we were just working on, that is meant to kind of be copied on every side and have that same curve. It is not quite right with where it sits, but it's as good as we're going to get. Right now we're just kind of building up those couple of tower areas and finalizing these towers being the highest points of the castle. We don't quite cap them out in this, but there's a couple of rooms, a couple of chambers, and a little bridge which connects from that little double tower complex over to the main large tower on the right hand side there. But as the episode is wrapping up here, I would like to thank you very much for watching this Ravenloft build episode. If you would like to come explore Ravenloft for yourself, the server is open to all patrons at the $5 tier or higher, and all Twitch subscribers, whether it is Prime, Gifted, or whatever subscription method you have ended up using on Twitch. I hope to see you in the server. It's lots of fun. We have lots of other projects planned. Beaubaton, Adland, Ravnica, Ottawa. We're going to be busy building. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.